all-in-one funnels. Yes, I'm talking about the one and only Russell Brunson of ClickFunnels. Everybody stand on your feet. Come on now. Stand on your feet. Thank you, Maria. Stand on your feet for the one
and only Russell
ClickFunnels, and such an amazing person, Russell Brunson. Russell.
So many of us are so focused on the science of achievement.
The only person you should learn sales from is Russell Brunson.
What are the step-by-step process? How do I get to that thing?
He'll take complex things and he'll make them very easy to understand.
He's excellent at breaking the complex down and making it extremely simple so that you can execute it. That's his brilliance.
It's an art project, right? There's not a step-by-step. In fact, if you do the step-by-step art, it's not actually art. The magic in art is when you create something new. So how do you get that fulfillment? What is the thing you actually want?
He's not only the best marketer alive, in my opinion, he's the best marketer who ever lived.
Entrepreneurship is my art. Russell's changing the industry 100%. ClickFunnels has been art. He's a marketing genius.
And on a grand scale.
This is how you become good at your art.
When Russell was on stage, these guys were like shouting out that they love him.
I love you guys too!
I learn something new every single time he speaks.
The single greatest marketer of the 21st century.
The goat of the marketing industry. New York Times best-selling author, collects books.
His ideas have literally shaped, crafted, and molded how we view modern-day marketing.
But also, everything he does is with integrity.
The one, the only.
On your feet and make some noise for Mr. Russell Brunson!
It's so good to see you.
It is so great to see you. When you were talking, I was like, man, I can't believe that was like 20, probably more than 20 years ago, the first time we met, which is crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for being here today. We're so excited to learn from you. So I'm turning it over to you, but thank you so much.
Okay. All right, well, thank you. I'm excited to hang out with you guys. And this is kind of interesting for me. I've been watching parts of the summit over the last couple days and seeing everything, and it's so cool to see how everyone's using AI. Like, everyone's got their own lens that they look at this world through, and then based on that, they're using AI to do this and that, and it just blows my mind every single time that I see it. And I think for me, for a while, I was like, I don't know if I'm using AI right, because I wasn't doing what everybody else was doing. And really for me, when I started using AI, I started having a lot of success with it, was I was doing the things I was currently doing, but I figured out how to amplify those things and how to grow them, how to scale them so much faster because of AI. And so this is stuff I've never actually taught this. This is my first time publicly talking about what I do with AI, but we're behind the scenes at a pretty high level doing some really, really cool things with it. I've trained my internal team on what we're doing, and then they're replicating and they're speeding up and getting faster and faster, but this is my first time teaching publicly. So if I'm a little scattered, it's because I don't have like slides with a million different things. Like, I have a couple things I'm going to show you, but this is not a formal presentation of me teaching you guys the secrets of what to do with AI, as much as like, this is what I'm actually doing, and it's working really well, and we're blowing up all of our companies at record rates. And so that's kind of the game plan. I hope you guys are cool with that. You're going to see a glimpse behind the scenes of what's actually happening. I'm sure in a year or two from now, I'll make a presentation showing you here's exactly how to do it. But you guys are getting the cutting edge because I'm learning this right now, and it's been so fantastic. We're using it a lot of different ways. We're using it to create video sales letters. We're using it to create webinars. We're using it to create challenges. We're using it to create email sequences. We're using it to create ads. But there's one common pattern amongst all of these things, how we're doing them, and it's I thought it was just common sense because this is the way my brain works. But when I showed it to people internally and some of my friends and stuff, they're like, holy cow, like that's just a different frame to look at things. So my goal is hopefully give you guys a different frame to look at AI through. Show you exactly what I'm doing it, and then hopefully you can model what I'm doing and use it inside your guys' business. So that'd be the game plan. Okay, so before I kind of show you guys my process and how it works, I'm going to show you some examples of what we're doing and how we're doing it. I want to go back to again, everybody who's using AI, they're doing it through their own personal lens, right? Like this is the lens of how I view the world, and when I'm taking AI, it's like amplifying my lens of the world. So anyone I'm curious real quick, who here is familiar with me? Like if you've heard of me before, heard of ClickFunnels, or heard of funnel hacking or funnel hackers, if you've heard that before, like raise your hand, say yes, yes, yes. If you're not, you're like, who is this weird kid that talks really fast? Okay, we got a lot of yeses. Okay, so if you've been in, okay, awesome. Dang, there's a lot of people on this chat. This chat is flying. How exciting. So if you look at the way that I look at the world, you guys know, like we created an identity. We call our people funnel hackers, right? And then we did an event called Funnel Hacking Live for the last decade, and we had to teach people how to funnel hack. So I look at the entire world through this concept of funnel hacking, and the way that I would do anything, because I don't think I'm that creative or that smart or that anything, but I'm really, really good at paying attention. So I'm always looking at what people are doing and how they're doing it and what's happening. In fact, I remember the very first product I ever created, even before, a lot of you guys know my potato gun story, but even before the potato gun story, the very first thing I ever created was a software product called ZipBrander. And the reason why is because I got on the internet and I was looking at a bunch of people, and there was this guy named Armin Morin. He ran an event called the Big Seminar, and so like I was watching what he was doing, and then he had a bunch of software, and all the software was like, he had one called e-cover generator, and it would generate e-cover, sales letter generator, header generator. He had like, I don't know, 10 different products. They're all something generator, right? And he sold them all for $67. And then when he did it, he had a long sales page. He would have a headline, and they would have a software box, and they would have his picture, and then he had a sales letter. And so for me, I saw like all these things. I'm like, I want to create software. That was my first idea. And then I didn't have an idea for software, so I'm like, what could I actually create? And eventually I came up with this idea called ZipBrander. I'm not even explaining what it is because that doesn't matter. But I hired someone, they built the software, and then I was like, now I need to sell this. How do I do it? I didn't know. I said, well, I see what Armin's doing, and I didn't have the phrase for it at the time. But what I did is I said, I'm going to funnel hack him. So I did. I took his page, and I took like e-cover generator, sales letter generator, all of them, like had side by side by side. I printed them all out so they're on my desk so I could see them. And then I opened up Microsoft front page because that's how we built web pages back in the day. And I was like, okay, Armin has a header on all of his. I'm gonna put a header on top of mine, so I put a header. And then I was like, Armin's got a headline. I'm gonna put a headline. And so I looked at all 5 or 6 of his headlines. I made my version of the headline. Then I saw he had a picture of his face right there, so I put a picture of my face. And I modeled the look and the feel and layout. My page looked like an Armin Morin product, if I'm honest with you. And then he sold his for $67. I sold mine for $67. And so it was done. Like I modeled exactly what he did. I funnel hacked what he did, and I started selling it. And that was the very first thing I ever sold on the internet. And it was so cool and so exciting. And so for me, like that was kind of how I started this journey. Is I didn't try to create something from new. I was like, what are people already doing, and how can I model what they're doing, right? And so that's what funnel hacking is. Again, you guys probably heard me talk about it before, but that's kind of how it works. So if the team can pull my slides up real quick, I'm going to show you guys how I would do this in the past, okay? So this is an example. I use Trello. So in Trello, I was, this is a couple years ago, I bought a green drink company called Zuma Juice, and I was really excited. And so step number 1 for me is I'm going to go funnel hack. So I'm going to find everybody else who has a green drink offer right now. Let me go find those people and see what they're doing. So as you can see here, Sculpt Nation had a green drink, Patriot Health Alliance had one, Skinny Fit had one, Organifi had one. So, and there's probably, I don't know, there's probably 30 different green drink companies we found, right? So I saw that, so I took a screenshot of their entire sales page, and then I did what every good entrepreneur has got to be good at doing, pulled my credit card out of my wallet, and I bought the product, and took a screenshot of every single page in the funnel, right? And then I waited till they started sending emails, and every email that would come in, I would take the email, I put it into a text file, and I put it in this Trello board. And so I was looking at like everything they're doing. So again, we call this funnel hacking. Funnel hacking is seeing exactly what they're doing, right? So I funnel hacked, let me see. I funnel hacked this company, so that's what their funnel looked like. I funnel hacked this company, that's what their funnel looked like. I funnel hacked this company. So every single company, I would go funnel hack and see exactly what their pages were like. And then based on that, I wouldn't go and just copy any of them, but I had all these ideas. I say, okay, I like how these guys did this, I like how these guys did this. And then from that, then I would go and create my version of my pages, my emails, and my everything, right? And so this is the process I've been doing now for 20 years. It works really, really well. I thought it was a shortcut because it sped things up, but based on what we're doing with AI now, it speeds this up times infinity. And so I'll get into that here in a minute, but I want you guys more to understand the concept of funnel hacking, because then when you put this layer of AI on top of it, that's what changed everything for me, okay? So that's what funnel hacking is. Does that all make sense? If it is, type in funnel hack in the comments, or funnel hacker if you're a funnel hacker. Type in funnel hacker and we'll see you guys if y'all get it. All right, my funnel hacker is awesome. Okay, so with funnel hacking, I set up a couple rules because I started teaching people this, and then people started going and just copying other people. I'm like, no, don't copy. That's unethical. It's illegal. It's stupid. Don't copy. It's funnel hacking is different. It's modeling, right? And so I started showing people, I'm like, when I funnel hack, like when I was gonna build my book funnel, I didn't just go and like copy someone's book funnel. I looked at Ryan Levesque, looked at Brendan Burchard, looked at Dean Graziosi, I looked at probably 50 different book funnels. Then from all of that, then I went and I make my version, okay? So these are the rules we had for funnel hacking. And these are very true, especially AI, because AI is so easy to copy. People don't copy, but you're gonna funnel hack them using this process, okay? So number one is model, don't copy, okay? Never be a knockoff. No one likes knockoff. Someday you're gonna be in an event, you're gonna see the person you ripped off, and they're gonna know you ripped them off, and just don't be that. Like, that's not the right person. Long term, it never pays off. It's just dumb. So you're gonna model the structure, layout, price points, but not copying the images and the graphics and the designs and the copy, right? Number two is I never just model direct one-to-one, right? I try to have at least 3 different influences that I'm gonna mix into my thing, and then I create my new version based on that. But I have multiple different influences to influence the thing I'm gonna create. And then I'm gonna add in my own spin, like the uniqueness of me or of you, like the Russellism. I'm gonna add some Russell into there. I'm gonna stir that in the pot, and then thou shalt ClickFunnels. And go into ClickFunnels and build it out. Okay, and so that's what funnel hacking is. That's what we teach people for a long time. Okay, so now you understand funnel hacking. I want to show you what I'm doing now in AI, because again. For me, I think I was a little slower picking up AI. It was probably a year or so in, and I wasn't doing much with it. I didn't really understand it, and I would try little things. I'd be like, hey, Chat GPT, write me a webinar, and it'd like spit out a webinar. It's like, it sucked. I'm like, oh, write me webinars if you're Russell Brunson. He would write a whole webinar, but it's a little better, but still was kind of crappy. And I was like, AI sucks, and so I just kind of gave up on it. And then fast forward to 6 months ago or so, I went to we did an event. And I'll show this right here. This is the output of it. But I went to an event at the headquarters of Agora. And if you guys know who Agora Publishing is, they are the biggest direct response brand in our industry. They do like $1.5 billion a year selling financial newsletters. So we went to their company. We spent 3 days. We took my highest level mastermind group. We spent 3 days there with the Agora guys, and it was really cool because we spent time with them. And what was fascinating, if you look at the way the Agora business works, they have I think they have 4 different brands. Each brand has like 6 gurus underneath it, and then each guru has like 3 or 4 copywriters. Okay, and then every 6 weeks, each guru pops out a new front end VSL. So they're popping out so much copy, so many things. It's crazy, right? And I was going there, I was like, this is insane. But like, how do you produce that much stuff, right? You think about 4 companies, 6 gurus, that's 24 gurus. Each guru has like 3 copywriters. So they're like 75 to 100 copywriters for Agora, just writing copy like crazy. And I was like, that's amazing, but I can't afford to do that. Like that's I don't know how much that costs them. Probably $30 million a year just to pay for the copywriters. And so when I was flying home on the flight afterwards, I was like, I wonder if I could use AI to replicate what they were doing. Okay. And so I took it through the lens of like how Russell views the world through funnel hacking, right? Took it through this different lens, and I went and I spent about 4 or 5 hours building out the context. I'm gonna talk about that here in a minute, building the context. After that, I spent about an hour writing out this script for this video. And then actually, the script turned out so good. I sent it to one of my friends who's an animator, and I said, I want you to animate this, but I want it to be all through AI. So he animated the whole thing through AI. It ended up being a 50-minute long form VSL. And this long form VSL right now is crushing it for us. This would have cost me, if I would have hired a copywriter, probably $40,000 to $50,000 to write, and probably would have taken 6 to 8 weeks. Again, I did the entire thing in about 6 hours. I'm going to push play just so you see the first 30 seconds so you guys see the quality of what came out. But this is from the script written by AI and the video creation done by AI. And again, right now we're spending about $1 million a month into this video profitably. It's like it's crazy. So let me just show you guys a quick clip real quick. Right now, as you watch this, your brain is being hijacked. You think you're in control. But there's a back door to your mind that 99% of people don't know exists. In 1914, a discovery was made that should have stayed buried. The hidden switches that control human behavior were exposed. For over a century, a select few have used this. Okay, I'm gonna stop. My goal is not to show you a little video. Although in the comments you guys are like, I've seen this multiple times. It's spooky. I've seen this very well. Okay, so my ads are working. You guys have seen it. Just so you know, this is killing it. This is crushing it. So after this happened, I was like, okay, I have a formula now. I want to do this faster. And in the last 4 or 5 months since I did this first one. I have a whole production team right now. We're pumping out long form VSLs, ads, email sequence, everything at record pace because AI has sped up the process so quickly. So that's what I'm showing you guys. You guys cool if I just kind of walk you guys through my process? Okay, so. You guys are cool. Okay, so it keeps popping my Facebook feed. If the ad keeps showing up, you know it's working, right? Okay, so this is how I view the world. So when I'm going to create something amazing, so the first thing I need to know is the output. What is this supposed to look like when it's actually done? Okay, that's step number one. So that could be anything. That could be like Armor More. Like when I was funnel hacking Armor More back in there, I was like, here's 8 sales letters for software. That's the output. So when I'm creating something, it needs to look like that. That's what the output's supposed to look like. Okay? When I was doing the VSL, that Secrets of Propaganda VSL, the first thing is I spent time trying to figure out, like, what do I want this to look like? I don't want to say, write me a VSL, and it's going to, like, just pump out garbage. I'm like, I need to figure out exactly what the best thing is, right? So I can figure out what is the output I want it to look for, okay? And I'm going to go and I'm going to find as much context as possible to plug in here to the output. Okay, and I'm sure you guys have heard the word context a lot over the last couple of days here at the event. But the rule of thumb that I've learned is for every one word that you want coming out of AI, you have to put 500 words of context in. Okay, so I did that the Bernays Secrets of Propaganda VSL. I spent 5 or 6 hours just getting the context into AI, and then 1 hour writing it. Okay, so that's the ratio. Like for every 1 word output, you have to put 500 words in. Okay, so all the heavy lifting happens up front. Okay, I'm gonna do a whole bunch of stuff before I ever once ask it to create anything. Okay, so first is the output. I'm gonna go deeper in this, but then number 2 is then the context. Okay, so now I know here's the output of what it's supposed to look like to be correct. Then I need all the context, all the stories, the ideas, the concepts, everything, all the context about it I need to have. And the third thing is then now I need to capture my voice. I need to say it correctly the way that I would say it, so it doesn't sound like somebody else. It actually sounds like me. So these are the 3 things that make this whole magic trick work for me. Okay. Okay, so let me go a little deeper. So let me come back. So the very first is output. So let's just say I did this demo for my internal team. I was showing them like writing a webinar. So I was like, okay, for writing a webinar, we know the output, like what it needs to look like. And so the first thing I did, I was like, okay, well, I have a training program called the Perfect Webinar on how to do webinars. So I took my Perfect Webinar training and I transcribed it and then I threw it into Claude. Okay, so now it has my training. But then I was like, I want to give it more context so it's the output correctly. So then I found 3 webinars that I had done in the past that all done over $10 million. So I knew the structure was really good. I transcribed all those and I added those into the output, right? So now it's like, here's the teaching of how it works. Here's 3 times it actually worked, okay? Then I have a back-end $10,000 coaching program teaching people how to create a webinar. So I went through, I took every single training from the entire program and I put that in there, okay? So now AI has all of this context. It knows, here's the training how to do webinar, here's 3 times Russell did the webinars, here's the entire coaching program that goes slide by slide by slide by slide. So now it has all the outputs. So it knows exactly how it's supposed to be structured based on everything that it just learned from me, okay? Like I'm literally putting in, again, if you look at the coaching program, everything, it's probably, I don't know, 50 hours worth of stuff that I'm putting into here, okay? So that's step number 1. So now I'm like, now it knows exactly what it wants. So now the output's gonna look the way I need it to look and to feel, okay? Number 2 now is what's the context, okay? So for context, I'm gonna find videos and articles and stories and everything I can that's gonna be the stuff that's going to be weaved into the output, right? So for example, when I did the Secrets of Propaganda video, I was trying to find a whole bunch of stuff. One of them, I went to YouTube, and there is let's see, Secrets of the last 3 years, and the most important one's the Book of Mormon.
I think that Joseph Smith.
Sorry, you go to YouTube autoplay. Century of Self. Okay, so there's a documentary called The Century of Self. So this is a 4-hour-long documentary telling the story about Freud and Bernays and how they all work together. So I was like, there is the context I need. If I'm going to be telling this long-form VSL, telling the story, like, I don't know all the stories about these. I know some of the stories. I don't know all of them, right? So what I did is that when I got this 4-hour video, I transcribed it. I have all the context, right? Now I add that to AI. So now AI knows, like, oh, here's the entire 4-hour documentary telling the life story of Freud and Bernays and how the whole thing worked, right? So now it knows the story. But I didn't just do that. And then when I found every podcast about Bernays, I found everything. In my video, I talked about Dan Kennedy. I found all the Dan Kennedy stuff. So I found as much context and story and examples and everything possible, and I plugged that into AI. Okay. So now AI has, number one, the entire output of what it's supposed to look like when it's done correctly. Has all the context of all the stories it needs to weave into the thing. And the last one is voice. It needs to learn how to speak like I speak if it's going to be a VSM on me, right? And so what I use, I upload me speaking from stage. I'm saying, this is me speaking from stage. Listen how I do my stories and my cadence and how I talk, right? Here's books I wrote. Here's articles. Here's videos. And so I'm putting as much of my voice as possible, okay? Here's like 5 podcast episodes of me speaking about these things, okay? You know, once I have these 3 things, this is the big trifecta, then I can create magic, okay? And this is where then I'm like, okay, hey, help me write a webinar now, right? That's like, so I'm 5 hours in, and now I'm finally asking AI to help me to start writing something, okay? But not until it has all the output, all the context, and all the voice, okay? So most of my time, what I'm doing is I'm literally finding videos, I'm transcribing them, and I export the transcripts and I plug them in, okay? All right, you guys getting this so far? Hopefully you guys can all hear me.
Yes, we can
Some
hear
of my
you.
voice wasn't working. Okay, good. You guys can hear me. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's the core thing. So let me show you a couple examples I pulled up of my actual workload. So the other day, we have a new software app that we're working on, and I wanted to create an explainer video to sell it, right? It's like a 3 to 5 minute video to explain the software, how it works, all sorts of stuff, right? So the first thing, again, is like, what's the output? So who's created something that's very similar to what I want the output to be, right? And so for me, like, my favorite producers of like short form videos that are funny are the Harmon Brothers. How many of you guys like the Harmon Brothers? Mm-hmm. So what I did is I went to Harmon Brothers, and on harmonbrothers.com/artwork, they have a page, and check this out. It has all of their viral videos all here in one spot. So like, there's the pooping unicorn. There's another pooping unicorn. There, these top 3 are pooping unicorns. Poopery, photo books, another photo books one. The Camp Chef, the Redneck Fiberfix one. I think this one might be the ClickFunnels one. They did one for us. No, there's ClickFunnels right there. This is the purple mattress. So they create these videos. Now, if you know anything about the Harmon Brothers, they charge a lot of money. I think we did 3 or 4 videos with them, and it's like $500,000 up front plus percentage of ad spend. So all these videos, you know, for them to make something like this, it's going to cost you $3 to $5 million, and all said and done, for them to create a video like this, right? And they have the best script writers, the best producers, the best ideas, the best storytellers in the planet. So I'm like, how do we compete with Harmon Brothers? I can't, but I know exactly what they're like. Here's all their highest converting videos of all time. If I know what that is, what should I do? I should funnel hack it. So this is my secret. What I did is I just took this page right here, and I only use 2 AI really. I use Manus and I use Claude. Those are my 2 favorite. So Manus is like my workhorse. This is where I'm like, I need Manus. I need you to go do some hard work for me. So what I did is I said, first I said, is anyone taking the best viral videos from Harmon Brothers and post them online? Can you find the transcripts? If not, can you identify and find as many viral videos? You can find a lot of them here. So basically, I gave it the link. I gave it this link right here, right? So it went through and it couldn't find any of them. But it said I found 32 videos. And then, and the last thing it said is that after you find the videos, transcribe the videos, right? And so Manus is like my free transcription platform. So 95% of what Manus does for me is just transcribe bulk things. Like when I had Century Self, here's a 4-hour documentary. Go transcribe it, Manus, and it goes and transcribes it. So it took this. It found 32 Harmon Brother videos, went through, and then boom, it transcribed them all. Here's all the transcripts. I exported them all, and then guess what I had? Boom, I had output. Now I know exactly what it's supposed to look like when it's done. And usually I'll ask it to analyze it. I'll be like, analyze. Actually, usually I take it to Claude and have Claude do the analyzing, okay? So Manus gets me all the output. So I have all of that. Now, I did other output too. I also, to context of for what our app is, I found YouTube videos of other creators talking about the pain problems that they had that my problem solved. So I found all those. I found a whole bunch of other things. So then I did the same thing. I threw it in Manus. I had to transcribe all of these podcasts and YouTube videos from people who were complaining about the problem that my product solves, right? So the context, and then I uploaded 5 or 6 videos of me, so that it knew exactly how my voice is. And so now I had everything here inside. I had all these transcripts, and I come over to Claude and I plug them in, right? So I come to Claude, and you look down here on the side. I don't know if you guys can see this, but in Claude you create a project. So I created a project, and then first thing is I add files. So look right here, you can see all of these files right here. These are all of the transcripts from every Harmon Brothers video. It's all the transcripts from VSLs, short form VSLs that had my voice. It's all of the people who did YouTube videos, like Casey Neistat talking about his problem, and other people. So it's just all the transcripts. Okay, so again, that would have taken me 3, 4, 5 hours to get all that in there. Now that I have that and all the context is there, now it's magical, right? So then I would come in, and the first thing I would do with AI is I would say, all right, here is all the Harmon Brother videos. Analyze all these and tell me what you find out. So it'll go watch all 32 videos, it'll analyze them all, comes back, say every single video had this, and this. I'm like, sick. Now we know exactly what the output is. Then I'll say, here's all the context, analyze all that. And so it's going through, it's like, oh, I found out, Casey Neistat said this is the issue, and so-and-so said this, and so-and-so this. And they're also trying to solve the problem. I was like, sick. And then here's my voice, how my whole thing works. We get that. And now I'm like, now I can start asking you to create something. So then now all the context is in there. Then I go into Claude, and I'm like, hey, I just had 29 project files. These are all transcripts. I had to analyze it, so you can see they analyze it. So this is how they analyze it. Here's what, based on the 29 Harmon Brother videos, this is what it looks like. It starts with an absurd hook. Here's examples of all those absurd hooks. Then had a relatable problem that stated hilariously. There's examples. Then there's an alternate fail parade. There's that one. And then number 4, the it's real moment. And so all their videos, all 29 follow the exact same structure. So I know exactly what the output needs to look like if I want to win, right? Exact structure. So I go through, it gives me all this stuff. And then Claude in this chat already had all my info, and it's like based on, so it already had context and voice, right, from earlier. So it said, based on that, do you want me to draft a full Harmon Brothers style script for Backstage Pass? I'm like, yes, that would be amazing. And then boom, it pops out the entire thing in like 3 minutes. And here it is right here. This is the entire script that it wrote for me, and it is so good. And now we are producing this and getting it done, and this thing will probably make me, I don't know, $5 or $6 million in the next year or so. And
wow.
that was the process, right? Now I'm coming out with the most insanely good output possible. I would have to pay the Harmon Brothers just to initiate them to write a script for me, $500K, right? And instead, I paid Manus $200 a month, and it transcribed all those in about 15 minutes. And I'm paying Claude $200 a month, and it, wrote that in another 5 or 6 minutes. And that's the game plan. You guys getting this? If you guys are getting this in the chat, say, this is so cool. I finally understand. Funnel hacking wins. Funnel hacking is the coolest thing ever. AI funnel hacking. Yeah, okay, the chats are flying. This is really fun. So that's the way that I do this. That's the game I've been playing, you guys. I've got my entire team learning this, right? So we did the same thing. Like we're doing a big challenge next week, and I was like, we need a good email sequence, right? And so we went through and we found, I think 4 or 5 of the last biggest challenges online, and we funnel hack everything. So we pulled it out, and like a good example, Dean and Tony did a challenge, I think 3 or 4 months ago. So we funnel hacked the entire thing. Guess how many messages they had, emails and text messages that went out during their challenge? Any ideas? Any guesses? 101. They had 101 emails and text messages that went out during their challenge. Now, for me to sit down and write out 101 messages would have taken me forever. I would have had 2 or 3 full-time copywriters. It would have been a nightmare. But instead, guess what we did? We took the entire thing, all 101 messages, put them in one huge document, and added it for what? Boom, for the output. This is what it should look like when it's all done. So we had that, right? Then we needed context. So then I'm like, here's what my challenge looks like. It's not an AI summit like Dean and Tony's was. Mine is called the One Common Club Challenge. And this is what it is. And I gave all the context. I talked about day 1, what I'm doing, day 2, day 3. So I gave all the context. So everything's happening at my event. Then I took all of the emails that I've written in the past that were the highest converting emails. I said, here's all my emails that had the highest open rates, highest click-through rates, made us the most amount of money. And I added those for my voice. And then I was like, all right, rewrite these 101 emails so the output looks identical to Dean and Tony's, but the context is all the stories from the challenge that I'm running, and make sure it matches my voice, my style, my writing, and everything like that. Click a button, go to the other room, get a drink of water, come back in, and it's done. 101 messages. You guys getting this? Oh, snap, you guys are getting this. Funnel hacking for the win. Let's go. But wait, it gets better, because we do it not just for emails and for short form videos. We're doing it for everything, right? Yeah, the same thing is true. Let's see. I have so many of these I'm working on right now. So, so this is the same way I did this, right? So with Secrets Propaganda via VSL. So context here again is okay. So for the output, so the way I did the Secrets Propaganda VSL is I was trying to find out like what did I want the end thing to look like, right? And so I was funnel hacking a bunch of stuff, and I found this guy on YouTube who had these really cool animated videos, but the way he told his stories was super engaging. In fact, I bet I could find him real quick. He had PT Mag. Yeah, Magnus Media. This guy's a great storyteller. So this is his video. So I watched this video of P.T. Barnum here.
Before Barnum was a successful businessman.
Okay, and this video has 700,000 views on a video about P.T. Barnum, which is, you know, anyway. So I watched this, and it sucked me. I was reading the comments, and people were like, I didn't know who this guy was, and I ended up watching an hour-long video, and so like when I watched this, I was like, ooh, that's like the way he told the story about Barnum's life is the same way I want to tell the story about Bernays' life, right? So I knew this was part of the output. Now, one thing that was different is that at the end of this, it didn't pitch anything though. It was just telling the story of the life in a really engaging manner. But I knew that for the output, like the first 80% of the video, I wanted it to be just like I want to tell the story the same way that he told this story here, right? And so took that threw it into Manus, transcribed it, came back over here to Claude, created new projects. Said, okay, Claude, here's the output. Go look at this, analyze it, see how it tells the stories, how it opens loops and closes loops all throughout. Like, look at this because I want to the first 80% of the script's gonna be based on this. Okay, so I had to analyze that. Then I need output for what the pitch was gonna look like, right? So then what I did is I went to Agora, $1.5 billion a year company, and they have a lot of good VSLs. So I found a bunch of their VSLs. I threw them into Manus, transcribed them all, deleted the whole front part of the VSLs, and just kept the pitches. And then uploaded pitches here to the output. I said, okay, so I want the first part of the video to be storytelling like this. I want the last 20% to be a pitch like this. Now I knew the output. Now I knew exactly what we needed to do. Okay, and like I said, after that, then I was like, hey, go find the context. Here's Bernays' documentary. Here's everything, all the stories, all everything, all the context in there. They uploaded things I've done in the past for my voice, and then generate. And then the way I do it, because is this is what I found. If I'm in Claude, if I'm like, write me a VSL, if it's something really long, it gets bogged down. It gets worse and worse over time. So I usually do section by section. So when I started this, I was like, okay, let's write just the intro. So I would ask it would write the intro. So it went through here and got me all the way to there, right? So it wrote this first. And so I would take that and I was like, ooh, I like this. But some things I didn't like. So I would tweak a couple things. I edited things that I was kind of cleaned up a little bit. And I would take my version. I would re-upload it into Claude and say, okay, cool. Thank you for that. I edited this. Go look at the two different things, analyze what I edited and why, and then let me know when you're done. So it goes back and it's like, oh, you edited some things out because, it tells me exactly what I did, which is kind of cool. And I said, okay, remember those things as we do the next section. I'm like, okay, now let's write section number 2, or chapter number 1. I'm like, in chapter number 1, these are the 5 or 6 things I want to make sure we cover. In this first chapter. Ready, go. And then it writes the whole thing, and it comes back. I'm like, this is really good. And I might tweak 2 or 3 things, and I upload that chapter back in. I'm like, hey, here's things I changed. See why I changed these things. Okay, it comes back. Okay, I see why you changed these things. Like, hey, remember those things as we move forward. And then I get to section number 3 here. In section number 3, I'm like, okay, this is the thing. I'll make sure these are the 3 stories we're going to tell. Ready, go. And it does it again. And by this time, it came out perfect. I'm like, oh, sweet. And then number 4, number 5, number 6. I go section by section by section. And by the time it's done, I had a 50-minute long VSL in less than an hour. And that's kind of the process that I went through. And so that's the magic. That's how I'm using AI for everything, right? We're doing the same thing right now with our ads. We're going through and we're like looking for. So I'm running. We have a challenge next week. We have a live event we run once a month, and so same thing. I'm like, who else has successful events, right? So I find the events. We go and we funnel hack all their ads. We take those as the output, right? Here's all the ads. Throw them into Manus. It transcribes them all. Now I have the output. Then I come in, throw the context for our event in there. I literally take the transcripts of my entire 3-day event or 5-day event. So it gets all the context and everything I talk about. Here's my voice and how I do my ads, and that's like generate me 50 ads, different hooks, different ideas based on the context I gave you. And it pops out all these ads. It's like, I have tons of ads I can go create now. And then we can just do it over and over and over and over and over again. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing, you guys. So I hope that's helpful. Like I said, this is not something I've formally taught before, but just the way that I'm viewing it and how we're using it to create marketing, ads, VSLs, webinars, challenges, email sequences, like every single piece of what we're doing. We're writing stuff for social, like it's all like we're using it for that, and a million different ways. So. Okay, somebody's asking me the steps again. So I'll walk through. I only got about 3 minutes left, so I'll kind of walk through the 3-step process again, okay? So again, step number 1 is the output. This is figuring out exactly what the end goal, the end state of where you're trying to create looks like, right? And the more output you can put in the context, the better. So the way I do that again in Claude is I go to Claude Projects, I create a new project, I title it. Now, if you title it, then it drops you in on this page. Ooh, CIA VSL. What are you doing, Russell? Oh, yeah, I'm writing a VSL about CIA. Okay. Anyway, you drop files here to the project files. I keep adding all the files here, and so it has all the things in there, right? So that's number 1 is output. Okay. After you get all the output in there, then I tell AI, analyze all this and tell me what you learned. It'll go through and analyze everything. I was like, cool, that's the output of what we're creating. You will know this is successful if what we create matches everything you just learned now. Then I come back, okay, now I'm going to add in all the context you know about this. And I grab all of the context, which is, again, stories, videos, all that kind of stuff for the context. Upload that to Claude next. I tell it to go analyze it, pull out all the stories, the details, everything. It tells me that is. Then voice and put them in there. Again, the 2 tools I use primarily are Manus, MANUS.IM. This is like my workhorse that just, if you look at my side menu, like 90% of these are like transcribe this, rip this podcast episode, 5 of these. Like I'll upload like a 5-day challenge, like 8 hours a day, and it'll go through, it'll transcribe it all and pop out all the things. I grab all the transcripts, and then I go into Claude. Claude's the best writer. It's my favorite one for writing, and the outputs are the best from writing. And this is where I do all the actual the fine work. So I look at Manus as like it's like a wrecking ball. It's just gonna smash through these big huge projects, and then Claude's like the artist is gonna take it all and like make it all look beautiful and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so those are the things. Yeah, so those are the things I do. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Again, if you get nothing else from my sessions presentations, like AI is going to help you to speed up the process you're already doing. I think by looking at the people you're learning from, like again, all the speakers here have been insanely good, right? And everyone's got their own lens of how they look through things. So it's like looking at like for your workflows, how can you use AI to speed things up? And then if you are in the business of creating marketing, like I am, right? Where I'm creating VSLs, webinars, challenges, ads, email, stuff like that. Like this is the process. Understand it, learn it, master it. It's getting the output, getting the context, getting the voice, and then you start writing. Okay. Again, I said this earlier. For every 1 word you want AI to give you out, you got to add 500 words worth of context. Okay. For me, I'm spending 3 to 5 hours getting context into the project before I have it right. It's the very first thing. Okay. I'm making it as smart as humanly possible before I allow it to write. I think the problem most people make is they start with like, write me a VSL, and then like it comes out crappy. Versus this way, you do this, when it comes out magic. It comes out like gold. And that's how we're able to do stuff as quick as we're doing right now at a pretty high level. So hope that is helpful for you guys. I appreciate you all. Thanks for hanging out. You guys are all now officially funnel hackers because you all learned how to funnel hack with AI. Thanks for letting me be here, you guys, and I hope you gain a lot. And we'll leave it there.
Thank you, Russell. Thank you. Everyone put funnel hacking with AI in the chat. That was absolutely amazing. And everybody is now going to go find all of Russell's videos. We're all going to go find his videos and do exactly what he did with the Harmon brothers with all of his videos, right? So what an amazing brain. And it's just been such a pleasure knowing you over all these years, Russell. And congratulations on all your success and for sharing with us so openly with what you're doing with AI. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. That was amazing, was it? I just love his thought process and where he is, all of the ways that he's thinking about using AI. You can see that he's like, I'm going to do this, and then take it to the next level and do this, and then he gets so excited. So I love how he also said that, use AI. He's showing you how he's using it, and all these people are showing you how they're using it. And so we want to make sure that you're also really diving into how you're benefiting from it and how you can use it to achieve those maximum levels. What was your biggest takeaway from Russell's section? So somebody tell me in the chat, what was your biggest takeaway? Oh, and then I see you, Donette says, learning a ton from this summit and all this time. If you have not upgraded to VIP or to platinum, you need to do that right now because these recordings are gold. How many of you agree? Like if you have not, just put agree in the chat. If you have not upgraded, do that now. Make sure that you lock in these recordings, and we have a special session at the end of the day that you do not want to miss. It is VIP only, so we have saved a special session for VIP only. Do you know what that is? We have Gary V, his second segment that he's doing is in VIP only, so we have a Q&A session in VIP, and then Neil Patel will be in VIP only, and he's talking about AI SEO or GEO, which just means how do you show up in artificial intelligence, right? How do you show up in artificial intelligence? It's so good. This is going to be so good. These are things that will take everything to the next level for you, be such a game changer. All right, so let's see. And we're just going to pick a couple people, just setting the stage for that to ask a question. So good luck to you. And speaking about winners, we have had so many winners with iPads and MacBooks and all sorts of stuff. I'm excited. All right, so biggest takeaway, Audrey James said, add more in to get a more defined output. What do we call this when we're working with AI? What do we call this? We call this training, right? Training and giving it a knowledge base. The more information that you give it, the more you can get back from it. So make sure that you're training it. Make sure that you're giving the AI a knowledge base to work from. Really great machine learning, right? Really great takeaway right there. All right, we have somebody up on the screen, VIP Diane Monroe. Do they have you up to tell us your biggest takeaway? Diane, what was your biggest takeaway?
Gee.
And then we have something else.
The Manus and the Claude, just using those two. I mean, I see how I can drop that inside of, what was it, the guy yesterday?
Yeah,
Spoke
yeah.
about with we having to manage so many different things.
Right,
I
right.
can see popping those two inside of that.
Right.
And having the CRM manage all that within one space.
I love it.
It's been amazing.
I love it. Diane, now you're also up here for another reason. Can you tell everybody why?
Yes, I just received my Mac.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
So thank you so much. Yes.
I love it. I love it. So you received it already. When did you win it?
Yesterday.
Yeah. So last night,
With Neil.
you've already gotten it, and I know that you're going to put it to good use, right?
Most certainly.
What's the first thing that you're going to do with your new MacBook?
All this information,
Right.
It's probably overspilling in the PC that I currently have.
Okay.
Yes, because I've been downloading, all the files that you guys, that VIP get as a takeaway.
Right. So you're going to put this new MacBook to work. I love it.
Absolutely.
Everybody give her a congratulations for winning. Make sure that you stay tuned today because we have more prizes up. Who's the next winner? I want you to claim it. Just put winner in the chat. Let's see who the next winner is in the chat. So stay tuned. We have more prizes to come. We like to give away computers and MacBooks and that sort of thing because we want you to keep working and iPads that you can take with you and keep AI with you all the time. How many of you also use AI on your phone? Anybody here using AI on their phone? Like, what are you using? What are you using? You got ChatGPT on your phone, Gemini on your phone? Yeah? All right, I love it. All right, well, I'm about to introduce the next speaker. So are you ready for the next? I don't know if you're ready for this next speaker because let me tell you about him. And as I read off some of the talking points for him, you're gonna say, what? Is he human or AI? And I promise you he is human. I have met him in the flesh. So let me just introduce him because here we go. All right, you ready? First of all, he is the most connected human that I know. At age 17, he started selling hoodies and grew it into a multi-million-dollar clothing brand. He sold $15 million through 6 major department store chains. At 19 years old, he secured $9.5 million licensing deal. At 23, he started a beverage company. He scaled it to 55,000 retail stores. He took a company public and is just known as the youngest person to do that. He beat billionaire Michael Dell's record as the youngest founder, so congratulations on there. He's an angel investor in not one company, not 2 companies, but 43 companies. He's the founder and chairman of Elevator Studio, which is a social media agency. He's the founder of Cards and Coffee. If you know what I'm talking about, put his name in the chat. In 2023, he also became an equity stake partner in the Aspire Tour. Have you been to Aspire? I have been. Love it. Amazing event. He has spoken at hundreds and hundreds of events, spent tens of millions of dollars on social media influencer marketing. There's nobody that knows it best. He's also a philanthropist and founder of the Model Citizen Fund. He does a lot of things for people in need and homeless, and I met him personally at Nehemiah Davis's mastermind event. We were on a panel together. I was so honored and blown away. Let's go ahead and play his intro video. Do you have an intro video for him?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right, so we don't have an intro video for him, so I'm gonna be the intro video. Are you ready? Welcome, the one, the only, Dan Flashman! Woo!
Thank you. You were the perfect intro video. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome, Dan, welcome. So excited to have you here today.
All right, guys, ready to rock? All right, first things first. Everyone in the chat, put in the chat, raise a little hand emoji if you think that you have a personal brand. If you think you have a personal brand, the little raise up your hand emoji inside of the chat. Are you guys see all those hands going up? Everyone here, tens of thousands of you, have a personal brand, whether you like it or not. It's how your friends think about you, your neighbors, co-workers, all the people in your life from the past, present, and the future think about you for some reason. They think about you and they have this vision of who you are in their mind based on information that you provide or that you don't provide. What do I mean by that? They might think of you as the single mom with 3 kids that just lives down the street. And they see you occasionally driving by with the kids, coming back around 3:30 p.m., and that's all they know. They don't realize that you actually are into AI, and you've been coding and vibe coding, and you're using all these different platforms. They don't know you're into AI. They don't know that you actually make custom jerseys with people's names on the front and back, and you'll do those for $140. They don't know you make custom football jerseys. They don't know that you make custom healthy meals for $100 a week that are super vegan and all this great nutrition. They don't know that stuff. And they also don't know that you're in the real estate game. You've had your real estate license for 14 years. You know why they don't know? Because you don't tell them. You don't utilize social media. You don't utilize AI. You're not using LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter that are free. These platforms that have 1 billion users and 2 billion users and 1 billion users are completely for free. You're not utilizing them enough. You're kind of doing Instagram sometimes, you're kind of using Facebook sometimes, or maybe you're tweeting occasionally, but you're not really using the social media platforms. And so I want to talk you through your personal brand, how you can use AI to tie into it to make it even easier and remove those fears from your mind that social media is too hard. Social media is not hard. Everyone that's watching this has a laptop, an iPhone, or an Android. Everyone, by definition, right this second, has one of those things, right? iPhone, Android, or laptop. That means, congratulations, you have one of the nicest computers and phones and cameras in human history all tied in together. Because you have such a nice camera, you have no excuse about making video content and photo content, because that phone is with you 24 hours a day. It's in that room, it's in your bedroom, it's in your pocket, it's in your car, it's always with you, and it has one of the nicest cameras in human history right on your phone or laptop. You don't need a $30,000 camera, a $20,000 fancy camera, because your phone camera is fantastic. And every 1 or 2 years, you're probably upgrading your phone and getting a nicer camera. Why do I say that? Because a lot of people's fear is that, oh man, I need a fancy videographer to follow me everywhere. I need fancy editors to do all these things. You will have 600% higher engagement, 600% higher engagement on average, making a phone video like this rather than a fancy camera video on a $30,000 camera. Do you know why? Anybody guess? Guess in the chat, why do you think that a fancy camera video versus an iPhone video has different engagement? Ready? The fancy camera feels like a commercial. And what do we do when we see commercials? We block them, we swipe up or swipe down, we go to the bathroom, we go to the kitchen, we do anything but watch the commercial most of the time because we're bombarded by 3,500 logos, commercials, and faces per day. That's a fact. 3,500 logos, faces, and commercials every day of our lives. And if you live in a big metropolitan city like New York or Los Angeles, the number's even higher. So when our brains are bombarded by logos, faces, and commercials all the time, when we see commercials, we want to swipe by. However, when someone does a video on their phone, that puts our guard down. That's why it has 600% engagement higher on average. Just go look at Gary Vee's posts. Go look at Grant Cardone's posts. Look at a lot of these big business influencers. Look at their fancy video, and then go look at the next video that's just them using their phone, and you're going to see a much bigger engagement rate because our guards are down. And I say that to, again, remove the fear. You just don't need a fancy camera to make content. Can you use a fancy camera sometimes? A fancy videographer and editor sometimes? Of course you can. That's called edifying. Even though your video is going to get 1/6 of the engagement, 1/6 of the reach, 1/6 of the comments on average, it's still worth it to sometimes do fancy videos or photos, but it's really not that necessary. Your iPhone and Android video will crush it, and so I want you to remove that fear from your mind. The second part about social media is people think it's too hard. What I want you to do is consider this concept. It's called building in public. Building in public is showcasing your real life. If you like to go hiking, you like to walk the dogs, you go to work, you go to the gym, I'm going to give you a real life example. So I was talking to Nehemiah and Alicia about this huge AI business summit, and I was flying in to San Diego, California to get ready for this big mastermind event. The second I landed in San Diego, California, right when I got there, as I was walking out to the luggage area, there was this billboard inside the airport that said, the #1 real estate agent. I got into the Uber, I'm driving towards the hotel, heading over to the Hard Rock. On the right side of the freeway was the #1 real estate agent, and the left side of the freeway was also the #1 real estate agent. Pulling up to the Hard Rock Hotel, right outside, this huge airplane, almost like those blimp type airplanes, is flying by, and behind it is this huge sign that said the #1 real estate agent. But none of them were the same person. That example is what happens. Those faces of the #1 real estate agent, all 4 of the #1 real estate agents, I don't really remember them. I have no emotional feeling to those people on those billboards and bus stops. Does it hurt to do marketing like that? Of course not. But those people on those billboards and bus stops, I don't have any emotional connection to. So I don't think about them. Let me give you an example of emotional connection. Let's say Nehemiah and Alicia are like, you know what? We want to buy a property in Atlanta. We want to buy a fourplex. Fourplex in Atlanta, it's called $800,000. And I say, oh wait, I know this amazing real estate agent in Atlanta. Her name is Jennifer. Every Monday night, Jennifer goes on date night with her boyfriend. Every Tuesday morning, it's really sweet. They have this cool cyber truck. She takes in 4 or 5 of the kids in the area and drives them to school like a carpool so they can be in a really cool Tesla cyber truck. They pull up to school. The kids have really fun doing it. Tuesday nights, she goes salsa dancing, and she's been practicing salsa dancing nonstop. On Wednesday night, no matter what, she takes her parents to dinner. On Thursday night, it's girls' night. So her and her 4 girlfriends get together and they have wine at a local winery. Friday nights, without fail, she actually likes to play pickleball. So Friday night, she plays pickleball. Saturday morning, she calls it open house Saturdays. Every Saturday morning, she's a real estate agent, so she has open house Saturdays, and she shows us high-rise condos, houses, fourplexes, all in her area, and all day Saturday she's doing real estate. And on Sunday at 9 a.m. she goes to church, and she brings her grandma, Deborah, but Grandma Deborah's back is kind of hurt, so she's in a wheelchair. And right after church, she takes Grandma Deborah to brunch. Nehemiah and Alicia are like, wow, how long have you known Jennifer, the real estate agent? I don't know, I actually never met her before. I just follow her on Instagram. But when they asked about buying a fourplex, I thought about Jennifer. I didn't think about the billboards and bus stops and airplanes flying by with the #1 real estate agent. Why did I think about Jennifer? I have an emotional attachment to her. I think about her boyfriend date night. I think about her taking the kids on the cyber truck. I think about her playing pickleball and salsa dancing and girls' night. I think about her going to church and her grandma's back. Like, I have an emotional connection to her. You've heard the famous quote, we buy from people that we know, like, and trust. Well, how can I know, like, and trust you more than grandmas, in church, in pickleball, and taking the kids to school? Like, I feel like I know, like, and trust her. I feel like I know Jennifer, the real estate agent in Atlanta. I've never met her before. I have an emotional attachment that led to top of mind awareness. You want to have top of mind awareness in whatever it is that you do. You're an insurance, personal trainer, whatever it is that you're up to. When someone says personal trainer, you want them to think of you. When someone says insurance or car sales, you want them to think of you. When someone says AI expert, if they hear AI expert and they think of you, you will be rich forever. If people think about you for a key word in your business, career, passion, or hobby, you will get referrals, you will get connections, and you will get money because people think about you for your career, passion, or hobby. So if you're an AI expert, that's in your bio, it's on your shirt, you speak about AI and people know about you for AI, people are going to refer to you and send you clients. They're going to send you deals, send you investors, send you partners, invite you to events because they think of you as the AI expert or the real estate expert or the fitness expert or the food expert or the cool lawyer. The thing that you do, your job, the thing that you post about will be well known, top of mind awareness, by you showcasing your real life. Now, oftentimes, people are like, oh, my life's boring, or I work in accounting or plumbing. No one really cares about that. It's kind of boring. I've done it for 16 years. What's boring to you looks like magic to us. What's boring to you, because you've done it for 16 years, so it feels mundane and boring to you, looks like magic to all of us. Give you a real life example since I just said plumbing. Let's say right now, here inside the Hard Rock Hotel, the sink exploded. Sink, the water is flying everywhere out of that sink. How many of you could actually fix the sink here in the Hard Rock Hotel? Comment in the chat, fix, if you could actually fix it. Comment fix. If you could actually run in here right now and fix the sink. All right, so there's 64 liars. The people that think that they know how to fix a sink would like to watch you make plumbing content. So let's say you are a plumber, own a plumbing company. The thousands of us that can't fix a sink, we are mind blown about how you fix a sink. So you make videos and photos about sinks, captions about fixing sinks. Thousands of us have no idea how to fix a sink, and we would love to see your content. That'd be crazy of how you just fix this exploding sink. The 84 people that said that they can fix a sink, they would also like to see you, the owner of a plumbing company or plumber, fix the sink because they think they can fix a sink, but you're an expert that owns a plumbing company, so they want to watch your content too. You get my point? Everyone wants to see your content when it's your career, passion, or hobby. I'm talking about plumbing. Imagine you actually are doing something that's cool or fun or interesting. Even something as boring as accounting or plumbing can have really good engagement, can be shared, can have everyone commenting and being fascinated by it because it looks like magic to us. What feels boring to you looks like magic to us, your followers. And so whether it's plumbing content, whether you make healthy meals, again, personal trainers, insurance, car sales, etc., the things that you do, things that you work on look like magic to us. So showcase that to us. By adding in your real life, when you're going to the gym, when you're going hiking, when you're going to play basketball, football, golf, surfing, etc., when you're going to do those things, take a quick photo, take a quick video. That leads me to my next point. A lot of people feel like it takes too much time to create social media content. You only really need to post once a day. Can you post more than that? Of course you can. Once a day keeps that top of mind awareness that we think about you. So when someone says AI expert, or someone says real estate, or someone needs a wealth manager, or someone needs an affiliate, an email marketer, a web designer, an event planner, etc., if someone says they need an event planner, you want them to think of you. So by you showcasing your real life, hiking and basketball and playing golf, etc., and in between your real life, you're showcasing your job as an event planner. If someone's at a lunch one day and someone's about to get married and like, oh wait, I know this amazing event planner or wedding planner, you should talk to that person. That happens through top of mind awareness. So posting at least once a day. Well, what do you post? Well, we walked through that. Your real life. You're going to the gym, make a quick video or photo. You're going to work, make a quick video or photo. You can also make multiple pieces of content to have them saved up in your phone to make it even easier. You don't have to create content every single day. Now, this is the AI Business Summit. AI is going to make it way easier and way faster, step by step, especially in the year 2026. Why do I say that? In the year 2025, the AI industry raised, through venture capital, $266 billion. That is 62% of all venture capital went to AI-related companies. That has never happened in any category in human history. That of all the venture capital, 62% went just to one category, the AI industry. That is staggering. And what we're going to see because of that $266 billion just last year, we're going to see the effects of that here in 2026 and in 2027. What I mean by that is that capital, that $266 billion, is getting deployed into the AI industry right this second. They are hiring like crazy. They are trying to hire so many people, and they are in a war to hire because they need human capital. Data centers and real estate, you are seeing it in the media all the time. They are buying warehouses and acreages of land left and right to build data centers to handle the massive amount of AI. What does that mean? Hundreds of thousands of more jobs are being created to help build those data centers. So if you're an electrician, you're going to be rich. Electricians are about to have a heyday because they desperately need electricians nonstop at all of these data centers. It is a massive amount of work to build a data center because they are huge. They're not 10,000 square feet. They are hundreds of thousands of square feet, some of them a million square feet. They are massive data centers, and they need a ton of electricians. If people are in the real estate space, obviously they're winning as well. The construction space, they're winning as well because they're building these data centers. The suppliers, the manufacturers, there's so many things that go into building a data center, and we don't think about what's called the picks and axes. When you see an industry pop up, like the gold rush, that's the famous concept. When the gold rush happened, the people that made the most money sold the picks and the axes. In the AI space, think about what people in the AI industry need. You're learning from what Nehemiah and Alicia's crew is teaching you. You have so many amazing experts that are going to be speaking to you this weekend about the AI industry. Think about the picks and axes. What are things around that people in the AI space need? I'm talking about personal brand because personal brand will be one of the few things that keep you standing out. As AI takes over in so many different categories, AI gets smarter, faster, and literally fixing things and optimizing things in every single category in our world, your personal brand is mission critical in order for you to stand out. As more jobs go away, your personal brand stands out. As more jobs are created, your personal brand stands out. And so that's why I'm so passionate about it. I think you can hear it in my voice. I care so much about personal brand. I've watched it change so many lives. When I've spent over $60 million paying influencers for brands, products, and mobile apps, I've watched influencers that have 4,000 followers now have hundreds of thousands. I've also watched influencers stay with 4,000 followers and still make $2 grand, $3 grand, $4 grand, $5 grand, 10 grand a month just with their small amount of following, called a micro influencer or a niche influencer. They build up to 10 or 20,000 followers. They're still making good money in a niche category. So if you niche down on the category that you love, whether it's AI, food, health, optimization, taxes, getting really into your niche, people will want to refer you clients. People want to pay you to post. People will want your advice. People will want you to speak. And that's why I'm so passionate about personal branding. Okay, what do I post? Well, that's the whole concept of building in public. Just going through your life, keep it in mind that you have that fancy camera in your pocket, and every platform is free. And so if you know that Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Threads, and Twitter are all free, utilize them. So that leads me to the next part. You want to build what's called omnipresence. Omnipresence is where you're just popping up everywhere. Omnipresence is someone sees you pop up on a podcast. Then they get over to their office and they see you on Instagram. Later on that night, they see you in a collab video with 3 of your friends on TikTok. This Friday, they see you on the local news. Saturday, they see you on Instagram again. That's omnipresence. When you have omnipresence, and by the way, what I just said, Costs you nothing. $0. You have the cell phone, you have the 6 social media accounts that are free, and you have your real life. You making content can make you have omnipresence for free. Now, can you spend money and make that even faster and get more PR or spend money on ads? Of course you can. Nehemiah is one of the best in the world at that, obviously. However, you don't actually have to spend money until you're ready to or until you want to or ever. But you need to be creating omnipresence. If you create omnipresence, it goes back to the concept of you're going to get referrals, you're going to get deals, you're going to make more friends, you're going to get invited to events, etc. because of your omnipresence. My charity called the World's Largest Toy Drive, which actually I did with Nehemiah in Atlanta, we raised 240,000 toys this year. 12 years ago, there was 8 of us, 8 volunteers on the floor wrapping toys. But through the power of social media, first year with 8 of us, then 21 volunteers, then 30, then 40, we now have 240,000 toys in 10 cities. And Nehemiah was amazing. He took a whole semi-truck of toys to give out to a couple thousand children in Atlanta, Georgia. That process happened through social media. The consistency of 12 years posting over and over and over. As I talk through this personal brand stuff, I'm giving you real life examples that might matter to you or to the people in your ecosystem. You might be listening to me like, Dan, I don't want a TikTok or I don't want to do a LinkedIn or Instagram. It's not just for you. You having a personal brand, you having social media is powerful for your 7-year-old child that wants to sell more Girl Scout cookies. For your 91-year-old grandma that wants to raise money for Alzheimer's. For your friend from high school that's throwing an event or doing a book launch. Your social media, your personal brand isn't just useful for you. There's people in your life from your past, present, and future that it'll be useful for you to have your personal brand. I am not saying you need to have hundreds of thousands of followers. Absolutely not. You having 4,000 followers and 13,000 followers is very powerful, especially if it's in a niche category or most of your followers are from one main city. You do not need to be obsessed with the amount of followers. Think about the passion, the engagement, and who the followers are more than just getting what's called a vanity number. Oh, I've got 100,000 followers. That's a vanity number. There are plenty of influencers that I pay that have 10,000 followers. I pay them more than people with 200,000 followers because they're a niche influencer. They have really high engagement. Okay, so you know all the main platforms. You know they're all free. You know it's easy to do. Now what? You want to make people want to share your content. AI is going to make that way easier, right? AI is going to make it easier for you to write your captions. You can utilize these different platforms to help you write your captions and think about your captions and what you should post and why and when. But ultimately, the consistency comes from you for now. At some point, literally this year, you could do it right now. With AI, you can program out and plan out all of your scheduling, what content to make, and you won't even have to be in the content soon. There are some amazing tech companies like HeyGen, some of these platforms that can change your voice to 200 different languages or 80 different languages, depending on the platform. There's some of these platforms where you can talk for 3 minutes, or if you want to get really fancy, talk for like 20 to 30 minutes, different angles, different color shirts, etc. And the AI will make videos of you and literally make the content for you and about you without you even telling it. At first, you got to tell it what to do about who you are, what you are, and say it on camera. There are some platforms that have just gotten hundreds of millions of dollars in funding, some of them over $1 or $2 billion in funding, that are just getting better, where you won't even be able to tell if this is the real Dan or the AI Dan. You will have no idea. Right now, there's still some things you can notice about the voice patterns, voice recognition, the voice tonality, and some of the timing might be off by half a second, 1 second, 2 seconds. Give it a few months. With hundreds of billions of dollars going to the category, give it a few months. I will be able to make AI videos, and so will you, for very cheap or free, that people won't even know. Right this second, Gary Vaynerchuk talks about that. You'll see Gary Vee today. Gary Vaynerchuk talks about most of you are at least following 10% or more of your following are not real people, or real people making not real content, meaning AI content. Think about that. Right this second, you are following influencers or following people on social media that are producing AI content, or they are actually an AI influencer. And it's going to be a staggering amount coming out this year because of how much easier it is from these platforms to make an AI influencer, to make an AI personal brand. What does that mean for you? Are you supposed to go fully AI tonight? No, but you should be researching it. So I'm already proud of you. You're here at the AI Business Summit. You're here learning from experts. That part right there is going to put you light years ahead of the other people in your office, the other people in your community. You being here at the AI Business Summit and learning is very powerful and very useful. And so whatever Nehemiah and Alicia and the crew talk to you about, do it and take action. Learning from them is very powerful and very useful for the rest of your life. The faster you can learn about AI, the better. I always say AI moves at the speed of AI. AI moves at the speed of AI, meaning it's artificial intelligence that has now gotten hundreds of billions of dollars poured in with a lot of smart people getting hired and a lot of media on the topic of AI. Think about how much faster AI is going to compound, how much bigger AI is going to be. And so you being here at the AI Business Summit is very powerful. You learning and having these connections and learning from these people is powerful. And so you need to prepare yourself. To build a personal brand, how can you get people to share your content? So here's 4 ways to get people to share your content. 1, be funny. If you can be funny or make people laugh, they're likely to share your content or repost your content. You might not be that funny. That's okay. What you can do is follow funny influencers, comedy pages, and keep your eye out on the internet. When you see something funny going on, whether it's in real life, in the community, on social media, at the Golden Globes, maybe something funny happened, you can take that content and put your spin on it. You can either repost the content and put your spin on it because maybe something that Nikki Glaser said or Kevin Hart said on the Golden Globes. So you might take a Kevin Hart clip and you might comment on it or make a green screen about it or talk about it, and you already know that it's funny because there's already a ton of engagement. What do I mean by that? You can now be your own data scientist and know that something is funny because other people have already validated that information for you, already getting the data. Let me give you the example. Let's say Kevin Hart posts today and he gets 1,000 comments. He posts tomorrow, he gets 800 comments. And then he posts the Golden Globes where he's getting ridiculed and they're making fun of him, and there's 19,000 comments. Well, you are now a data scientist. 1,000 comments, 800 comments, 19,000 comments. So you know that people want to talk about this subject. They're talking about the Golden Globes. It's hot, it's interesting, the timing's there, something's funny. Nikki Glaser is talking crap to Kevin Hart. There's all this action's happening. You know, by definition, 1,000, 800, 19,000. You know this one with 19,000 comments is viral, is engaging, is going to get a lot of comments. You can now put your spin on it. You can now take the same video or version of that video, green screen it or repost it, and then put your 2 cents on it. What do you think about it? Do you think Nikki Glaser is right and it's hilarious? Do you think you feel bad for Kevin Hart? Oh no, he can't take it. What do you think about it? By you putting your spin on it or you commenting on and sharing it, you're going to get high engagement. You might follow a funny page or follow 10 funny pages. Same concept. Post a funny video, it gets 1,000 comments. Post another funny video, gets 800 comments. Then it posts a funny video, gets 19,000 comments. You reposting that video or sharing it to your Instagram stories or sharing it to Twitter or Facebook, you already know, because you are now a data scientist, this one with 19,000 comments is going to do well. You already know that. There is no guessing if people care about it. You already have the data. 1,000, 800, 19,000. So that's called leveraging. You can leverage someone else being funny so that you become funnier. Why does that matter? Well, I post a lot of business content. I post animal content with the real Tarzan. Next day I post with little baby. Then I post business content like this at the AI Business Summit. But then I post memes. Sometimes when I post memes, which I've done for the last 14 years, when I post memes, I get crazy engagement from people I didn't even realize follow me. They never commented about the baby, never commented about the real Tarzan and us talking to a camel, never talked to us, comment anything about my business video. But all of a sudden, I post a funny meme about relationships, boom, they're commenting, DMing me, tagging, reposting, etc. comedy is relatable. And so by you leveraging other people's comedy or finding things that are funny and reposting and sharing it in your version, you can create crazy engagement. Number 2, show them something relatable. Relatable is something in your industry. So if you love cooking, show them about mac and cheese. You can show them a vegan mac and cheese, a crazy mac and cheese, barbecue sauce mac and cheese, a mac and cheese with bacon bits on top. You can make all different versions of mac and cheese, and all of a sudden, people want to reshare your mac and cheese videos. They want to reshare your mac and cheese posts. Why? Well, mac and cheese is delicious. And you're putting your spin on it, and you all of a sudden you're crushing up Oreo cookies on your mac and cheese, and people are like, what the heck? Oreo cookies on mac and cheese? Now they're sharing it, reposting it, and all these people are coming to your page and seeing your picture and video about Oreo cookies on mac and cheese. Oh my gosh. How can you figure this out? You can go to AI, you can go to some of the big name platforms, search through those ChatGPT type platforms, and come up with crazy ideas and let it populate and say, yes, Oreo cookies on mac and cheese would be a viral sensation. You should do this, this, and this. Make your video 22 seconds, make your photo at this angle. Figure out and test it out. Why did I say all that? It costs you nothing because you already have Oreo cookies at your house. You already have mac and cheese. You're already making video content about food because you love it. Combining things together that are relatable and putting them together makes it mind-blowing, and boom, all of a sudden people are sharing your content. When they're sharing your Oreo cookie mac and cheese video and that photo, boom, by them sharing it, lots of people, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people are seeing it. Just because 32 people shared your post, those 32 people might have hundreds of thousands or millions of followers combined. Boom, all of a sudden your name is getting seen everywhere because you put Oreo cookies and mac and cheese in your kitchen. The third thing is timely. You've got to post about things when they matter during the time frame, meaning the Golden Globes was on Sunday. Now, Thursday, Friday, well, it's going to be less and less. It's called diminishing returns. If I post about the Golden Globes on Sunday or Monday, engagement will be crazy. If I post about the Golden Globes 3 weeks from now, wah, 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 no one will care. There's more award shows, Super Bowl is coming, NBA is happening. There's just so much action going on. We live in an ADD society. And so when something happens on TV, on the news, on social media, etc., posting within 24 to 48 hours is ideal of that thing, that TV show, that big event that happened, a big sale happened, something happened in your category. You want to be timely. So there's a season premiere of a big television show, or there's a season finale of a big television show, something crazy happens. Those first few days around when it happens is the most important, especially the first day. If I post about Conor McGregor fighting Floyd Mayweather, who cares? That was years ago. If I post about the night of or the next morning, man, I'm going to get a ton of crazy engagement. So timely is important. And the fourth way is something in their niche. Meaning, if you are really good at real estate and you start posting about, hey, there's a new $1 billion property being built in downtown Las Vegas. This $1 billion property is going to have this many residential and this much commercial space and this many stores, and the new Carbone restaurant's going to be there. You have nothing to do with that $1 billion building in downtown Las Vegas. You are leveraging. You are leveraging the fact that there's a $1 billion property being built in Las Vegas, assuming you live in Las Vegas or you don't. If it's local to you, great. If it's not, that's okay too. You're leveraging this $1 billion property, all the stories about it. A month from now, there's news stories. They have Carbone, but they also signed STK and Nobu. All these amazing restaurants are going into this new $1 billion property in downtown Las Vegas. You are leveraging this property for your social media. It is interesting for your followers that might live in Vegas or travel to Las Vegas, and they're going to think of you. You post about the $1 billion property. You post about Carbone, STK, and Nobu. Those are things that are compelling and interesting to people. And so by you doing that, you are now tied in emotionally and mentally to this $1 billion building in downtown Las Vegas that you have nothing to do with. That is called leveraging. Remember we talked about reposting Kevin Hart and Nikki Glaser? Now we're talking about reposting a $1 billion building. When things are interesting to you or in your niche, you can leverage household names, $1 billion buildings, etc., for you to create the content. Now, do I want you to create your own content? Of course. But by leveraging content or things that are going on in the industry, You're making shareable content. You talking about it, you sharing it, you liking it, putting your spin on it, putting your captions and your mind to it. Again, I don't want this to feel overwhelming. New stuff happens in our industry, in the media, all the time. New stuff happens in your niche all the time. Comedy related things happen every single moment. There's funny things happening on the internet all the time. Just turn on the TV. We see funny stuff all the time in this crazy world. When things are going on in the world, you post about it. Now, what I want you to do, I only have 1 minute left. What I want you to do is, when you're learning here at the AI Business Summit, Nehemiah, Alicia, and the crew have brought together some absolutely amazing speakers. Tom Bilyeu, Gary Vee, Russell Brunson, Neil Patel, Adley. She gets over 1 billion views a month. Like, you have amazing speakers talking about different factors of AI and what they're thinking about. Make sure you're taking notes again, not just for yourself. When you hear me talk about personal branding and screaming about it because I'm so passionate, it's because I've watched it change people's lives. The information that you're gathering this weekend from the AI Business Summit, take it forward. Share it with your friends, family, and followers. Make sure if there's other programs or things to do to learn even more with Nehemiah and Alicia, do those too. Because AI is the single most important thing that's happened in human history. You've watched the most amount of capital go into it, the most amount of smart people, technology, real estate, data centers, so much money and energy is going into it even more in 2026. You're going to see the technology get faster, better, smoother, smarter, nonstop this year. So you being here and learning is powerful, but make sure you carry on and keep learning, keep sharing, commenting, liking, subscribing. And if you create your personal brand and you create omnipresence, I pinky swear, you're going to build a life where you get connections, events, friends, followers, etc. Thank you guys. My name is Dan Planchman. I appreciate you and enjoy the rest of the day and the weekend.
All right, thank you, Dan. Thank you. All right, man. Dan was awesome. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you, man. I've been following Dan for a quick minute, and I just want to say everything he's teaching is valid, and he practices what he teaches. And so, if post your takeaway in the chat real quick. Post your biggest takeaway in the chat for me real quick if you have one. I'm gonna see what it was. Let me see what that takeaway is. All right, that was cool. Somebody says bravo. All right, leveraging. Sheila says, okay, be authentically you. All right, the 4 steps, the personal branding. I can be funny. All right, be omnipresent. All right, man, your chat is moving so fast, you all. I can't even keep up. Here. Post shareable content. My brand, practical, be authentic, timely. All right, awesome. Well, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying this. Listen, has this been good so far? Russell came in, and Russell just gave amazing conversation on how you can funnel hack with AI and talk about VSLs, which is great. We had Dan coming in and talk about content and branding, and man, we've got so much more. I can't even explain how much more value we have for you. Can I give you a little sneak peek into who we have up next? Anthony, is it cool if I just give you real quick? Lakia, is that okay? Yolanda? So listen, we got next up to the stage somebody that exited a business for $1 billion. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you're about to hear in just a minute. You're about to learn from somebody, brilliant business mind. Tom Bilyeu is about to come up next, but right after we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Gary Vee. Everybody drop a fire emoji in the chat if you're excited for Gary Vee to be in the room today with us. Y'all, Gary just brings so much hype, so much excitement, so much passion. I'm excited for you all to be on stage with us today, here in the room with us. It's going to be phenomenal. Now, can I be honest, open, and transparent with y'all? Just put a yes in the chat if I could be honest, open, and transparent with you. So we're general admission. We got a lot of game for you still, but I do want to let you know, VIP and Platinum, you're going to have an exclusive session with Gary yourself. Okay, now listen here, though. General admission, Gary's going to teach you just for a little bit, okay? So we do have Gary. He's going to give you some value. So I've seen a couple people saying, Gary's only for VIP and Platinum. No, Gary's going to come give some game to everybody. But we are going to, I'm warning you now so you have time to upgrade general admission. I see there's thousands watching on YouTube. I'm telling you now because we are going to be, after Gary does his talk, we are